Diane in Denmark here. When you see this video, it will be Friday, but it's actually Little Friday for me. It's Thursday night. I'm in town on the way to my girls' night out. I'm just sitting in the centre of town. That's our oldest department store. It's been there for 150 years. You can see all the bikes behind. We've got the metro, and on the other side we've got the Royal Opera House. The theatre. Anyway, normally on a Friday I check in with you and I tell you, it's Flylady Friday, your little reminders like it's date night. We always have the family's favourite snacks and things like, filling up your car with petrol or piping up your bike tyres if you're out on your bike. And I thought I would just give you something different today, because I've mentioned that we are now into autumn. I've got my autumn scarves out and we're layering and it's getting colder. And autumn is my least favourite time of year. I love spring and I love summer and winter, but autumn's not my thing. And I've really been trying to change that mindset that, there are good things in every season and every season is a change. And was it last week or the week before, I brought you a video where I was at our local Danish library, about 10 minutes walk from here. And it was a morning sing-along. They have this sing-along in the morning on the way to work, on the way to nursery. You can stop by and sing along. And it was all to do with Andersen, our kind of national poet and songwriter who had died recently. And I've mentioned his poems to you before, Bite Life in the Thigh, the morning hymn. And we sang one of Benny Andersen's songs, that thing 2 weeks ago. Hope you can hear me. I'll come closer. And it really resonated with me. Anyway, I wanted to share it with you. Now, I've made a very rough English translation. Hold on, maybe I should sit like that, then you can see all the bikes coming. I've made a very rough English translation, and I'll put a link in the comments, and a link, the pinned comment will be the translation I've done. Anyway, in Danish it's called Aftentur med Rosalina, which means evening walk with Rosalina. Now, Benny Andersen was married 3 times, and his middle wife, Cynthia, this song actually, it may have been written for her, but Rosalina is just like the woman in his life. So anyway, let's go. I won't give you the Danish one today, but it's a song, and I'll see if I can maybe link. Sorry, I've got a piece of leaf or something in my eye. Anyway, here goes, and it is a song. So I've kind of tried, normally it would kind of rhyme, and I've tried to, I haven't bothered too much about that in the English version. So here we go. Are you ready? Listen up, okay. The sun yawns sleepily behind a tree, and the shadows turn purple and long. The moon steps forward, it's up next. I say, it's getting late. No, says Rosalina, it's the end of summer. From now on, it will be autumn, minute by minute. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The day becomes a shadow of itself, and the sun is replaced by a sparse moon. But it's still pleasant here. So before we leave, we stand for a minute. We've grown older, it suddenly occurs to me. Now it feels chilly here on Hjortekærsvej, which means Deer Street. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. I get sad and melancholy every year around the time when summer ends. The realization of the years that have passed, the falling of leaves in the calendar of life. I become 10 years older in the space of 10 minutes. And the sky is so bleak and the moon is golden. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And my whole life passes before my eyes, but it's only those stupid things I recall. Then the moon is swallowed up by a cloud. My resistance becomes smaller and smaller. I say, Rosalina, let's turn back. We need to take into account that I'm getting old. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Then Rosalina says, do you know what? I'm looking forward to autumn coming. It has always made me strong and happy. I feel that I get stuck. I stall when it's summer. The autumn colours are rich, they glow, they have a temper. I feel like I've been born again every single time. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Heavy stones fall from my heart. Rosalina is my wife. Imagine that. Suddenly I have new life in my legs. They're almost flying out of my shoes. The stars show constellations over land and city. The night is still young, the world is still new. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Why look back when you would rather look forward? Rosalina and I take the plough home. Or Rosalina and I take the Big Dipper home if you're American. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. So anyway, I hope that kind of cheered you up. It's just something that struck me about, it is true in the summer, everything's kind of great weather. Well, it was great weather this year in Denmark, but we do kind of get stuck and we stall. And the autumn, it is a time to move forward, one foot at a time. So anyway, I'm going to be embracing autumn. Hope you will do the same thing. And anyway, I better get into magazine. I've got something to change for my daughter in the shop, and then I'm off to my girls' night out. Well, girls I'm using that term very loosely. We're all kind of between 35 and 65 years old. But anyway, we will have lots of fun. So anyway, I shall just wish you a fantastic weekend, and as usual I say live long and prosper. May the Danish sugar be with you, and I shall be back with you on Monday morning and with you on Instagram over the weekend to give you a little nudge to keep going with those routines. Okay, bye for now.